Hey everyone, with so much uncertainty constantly happening, you got Ben and Jerry's doing what they're doing, the public response to it, Delta variants, this and that, masks, no masks. Are we starting our kids? Are they gonna have to wear masks when they go back to school? Are we gonna have? We don't know what's gonna happen. Gas prices going up. There's a couple thoughts in this week's parsha that I think are so core foundational messages, and also very applicable to the current situation as well. Is that it starts off this week's parsha of Eschanan el Hashem, and Moshe is beseeching God. What is he doing? What is he asking for? He's asking God, please let me go into the land of Israel. As we remember, a little while back, Hashem punished Moshe for his, we discussed a little bit of the sin of hitting the rock. There's different explanations of why he did it, hitting it as opposed to speaking with it. And his punishment was he wasn't supposed to go into the land of Israel. But what's interesting enough, God finally tells him, you have to stop praying. Moshe had prayed 515 times asking, can I go into the land of Israel? Can I go into the land of Israel? God says to him, you have to stop now. Why? Because if you do one more prayer, I'm going to have to listen to you and let you in. So what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that is that obviously Hashem knows this was for the best for us. Hashem says, you learn a couple messages here. One of them is the power of tefillah, of prayer, is that when we push the needle and we constantly pray, even something that's not ordained, it can be switched with prayer. And God will say, I have no other choice. Almost force God's hand, so to speak. In this particular situation, Hashem told Moshe, this is not the best thing for you. So I'm going to have to give in if you pray again, but it's not the best thing. Which brings to the next point. At the end of the parsha, it talks about Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. We know this, famous. Listen, Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, God is our king, God is one. Right? We say this is the foundational piece. And what is the concept of it? Is really what we're doing is we're accepting upon ourselves the yoke of heaven and saying, you are our God and you're the only one. It's acceptance of the fear of Hashem and the oneness of God, and that's what the Shema is. Ol Malchus Shemayim, accepting the yoke of heaven. And I heard a beautiful thing today, that the word Shema, Shin, Mem, Ayin, if you read it backwards, it's Ayin, Mem, Shin, which stands for Ol Malchus Shemayim, accepting the yoke of the kingdom of heaven, of God. So the question is, if the whole point of the Shema prayer is to teach us that, why is the word backwards? And the lesson heard is beautiful, is that it's very easy to accept the yoke of heaven when everything's smooth. I understand what's going on, things are going well, business is going well, my marriage is going well, kids are doing great. But it's when things are a little bit different. I don't know, it's beyond my control. I don't know what's happening, things aren't going so well. When we start questioning, I don't see God, I'm praying, I'm not getting answered, I don't understand what's happening. It's in those moments to remember prayer always helps. Sometimes we need to pray for it and God will give it to us. Sometimes He won't because it's the best thing for us. But to recognize I accept Hashem in all situations, even when it seems backwards. Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. I wish everyone a wonderful Shabbos and a great week.